Hello, good afternoon. My name is Małgorzata Kurzępa. I'm a founder and director of Fairhouse Investments, the company which invests in properties in UK for over 8 years and 10 years altogether. Every Sunday early afternoon, I'm coming to you with another subject which is somehow connected to investing in properties. And today, I hope it would be quite interesting for you because today I wanted to tell you about 6 mistakes I made at the beginning of my journey as a property investor. So, the first big mistake I would say was starting without preparation. So, my advice for you is be prepared before you start. So, knowledge before action. This is crucial. You can't just jump from the to the deep water without any preparation, without checking what is waiting down there for you. Learn as much as you can before you purchase your first property or before you rent your first property. Be ready to do your due diligence. Prepare the spreadsheet. Put all the potential deals there, theoretical and real. You can start scrolling Rightmove or Zoopla, searching for properties and putting the details there, trying to assess ROI, possible to achieve. Believe me, the difference between having zero investment properties and first investment property is very, very big. And believe me, if you want it or not, if you are serious about investing in property, your free time would never be exactly the same as before your first investment property. So better be prepared. Do your own necessary due diligence. Don't trust anyone. Check all the asking prices in the neighborhood. Check the selling prices of the properties. Check the prices for renting. Purchase price, purchase expenses, refurbishment cost, insurance, management cost, potential tenants, school and crime rates in the neighborhood. Especially the potential tenants are very important because it could save you from putting too much money into your investment property. For example, if your property is located near a car factory or Amazon or Tesco warehouse, then your potential tenants would be the people who would work there. So at least this is natural, I think. So you don't have to put a marble bathroom into your property because these people, they are not extremely well paid, so they want a nice and clean property, but they won't be ready to pay a huge amount of money for it. If you want to go for higher end properties and, for example, do, I don't know, a luxury HMO, to give you some more money than usual buy-to-let property, then try to rent or buy something near the hospital. The junior doctors or young doctors are the great tenants. They usually, if they stay for on short contracts, they are ready to pay for nice property, for nice living space. If someone told you that you cannot lose money on the property, he lied to you. You can make some small mistakes, which ends up, which takes you to the deal which will cost you money instead of making money for you. So don't rush to your first deal. Take the one which looks good in paper or which looks best in paper, and trust me, don't be too optimistic about it. I agree that you learn from your mistakes, and if you don't make mistakes, it's difficult to learn something. But could you afford it? Believe me, mistakes appear anyway, if you want it or not. Don't do mistakes on purpose. The second mistake I made at the beginning was no goal, no business plan, no strategy. You could laugh at me, you could think I'm a silly person, but I started investing in properties because I had a good credit score and I have cash in bank. I had no idea what to do with it, so I thought, why not? Why do not invest in a property? So I had no plan, no goal, nothing. And now I know if I had it at the beginning, my investment journey would look completely different and I would be much further on my way to the financial freedom. But I will achieve it anyway, it just takes me more time. So you need a goal to go for it. Sometimes the goal would be something that drive you if the problem appear. But remember, if you don't set the goal, if you don't know how to get there, how could you find a proper way? How could you find a proper strategy to get there? You know, plenty of people telling me, listen, I want to invest in properties, but I don't know where to start. Which strategy is the best for me? Make your business plan, sit down, write it down. If you have your goal set, you have your strategy, you have your business plan done, then the strategy appears naturally because it will come out of the goals of your business plan. If you if you're interested in high cash flow, then of course high cash flow strategies would be best for you, like rent to rent, maybe sourcing, maybe HMO. No, now service apartments are not on the top. But if you more interested in long-term strategies, like buy to let would be great for you. You know, it's not a huge amount of money coming every month, but almost no work or very little work to do, and you could always hire someone to do this work for you for a percentage of the income. So choose your strategy and stick into it. It's good to review your strategies time to time, but don't do it more often than once a year. The third mistake I've made was expecting fast or immediate reward. If you purchase your first property, usually it's buy to let, because this is the most popular strategy for the beginners or for the people who are afraid to make the first step. But then you start listening to webinars. Maybe you go for courses. You attend. You're a member of Facebook groups. You know, you listen to people's conversation. Or you read them, and they making tons of money from these high cash flow strategies. And you only have, like, I don't know, 250, 300 pounds from your buy to let property. You start becoming upset why they have such a high cash flow and I don't. Listen, each strategy has its ups and downsides. The one I've mentioned bring more profit, but also takes more time. Each of us has different character, different attitudes, different opportunities in life, different amount of time and money. Remember that investing is like a triangle. There is money, time, and experience. It's great if you have all three of them, but it barely happens. You know, different strategies are suitable for different people. If you work full time, for example, probably you have some cash as your savings, you have good credit score, but you're very time poor. If you're a student, you have a huge amount of time, but your credit score is close to zero and you probably don't have much cash. Some of the people who work use SAS and SIP pension programs. They are immediately in a better situation than others who don't have it, or students. Or maybe you are close to become a pensioner and you still have your good credit score, you already have some cash, and in the future, very near future, you will have plenty of time to invest. But I don't advise you to wait until you retire to invest in properties. Better start earlier. Don't listen to false friends. Choose the strategy which suits you the most and follow it. If you realize after a while that your strategy doesn't work for you, then you sit down and maybe you should rewrite your business plan, but best consult it better with the person who already have an experience. Best option is if this person has an experience in your current strategy and the future one. But if you have the one with the experience in the future one, it's still great. Unfortunately, sometimes people around us are not very helpful, even if they are your friends or family members. They want your best, but sometimes they don't know how to do it. If you don't listen to them, sometimes they coming with questions like, oh, you invested so much time and money in this property business. When is your cash flow? When is your cash flow? When would you start earning money on it? They don't know that you invested for long term, and for example, buy to let is your proper strategy. They only realize that you don't have time for them anymore. And even if you sit in a pub with them, when your phone making ping you have an alarm set for new property which appeared in S65 postcode, and now you want to know if it's suitable for you, before someone else call the agent and book the first viewing. So best your strategy, choose the strategy which is best for you, but also help you achieve your goals in the best, easiest, and fastest way, not necessarily the one that brings the highest cash flow. The fourth mistake I made was transferring my experience from a different property market. I've made this mistake at the beginning of my career because I thought I could set my business and my company in the way I used to do it in Poland. I didn't seek advice from professionals. I haven't talked to the solicitor. I haven't talked to an accountant. I didn't have enough knowledge about the English market. For example, the leasehold. In Poland, we also have a leasehold, but it means something completely different than here in UK. I mean, it means something similar, but the financial outcome is completely different. I've almost purchased my first property, which was supposed to be a flat with short lease, but I had no idea what it means. I already have some knowledge, I listen to podcasts and I listen to the webinars, but somehow I didn't come across this thing like short lease. And it was before I started looking at the properties at auctions. When you go to an auction website, almost every second or third property has a short lease. So if you start reading it, you know what it is. Even if you don't know, you check. But despite of having this information in an advert, I just didn't know what it is. And believe me or not, but agent didn't tell me anything about it. I think he was aware of the fact that I'm inexperienced and he didn't care. But the person who saved me actually from this transaction was the seller. You wouldn't believe, but he said that in his opinion, I'm young and inexperienced and I have no idea what I'm doing, so he cannot sell this property to me. And he was actually right. So the same thing is about, a similar thing is about management cost. In Poland, we put the management cost to the tenants. In England, the management cost is on the landlord. Probably this is one of the reasons why in England houses are very popular, while in Poland still flats sell the best. There are many differences in law, in taxes. Plenty rules are different in Poland and in England. And it's not only between UK and Poland, of course, because plenty of my friends who were trying to, or who started investing overseas, like for example in Spain or in other European countries, they lost a lot of money because they were a great targets, easy targets for scammers. People were selling them something which had no value, or off-plan properties or things like this. So you want to invest at the foreign market? Let's go for it, but get some knowledge first, or find a person who will help you on site. Otherwise, you would never see your money again. Fifth mistake is trusting people too much. As long as I overcome most of the previous things I told you about, I still have an issue with this one. Because actually the old rule for best cooperation with people is trust but control. After a while, working with someone, doesn't matter if this is your partner, business partner, or someone you hire to do the job. After a while, you will know what you could expect from the people, but at the beginning, you just have to control and check on them. Sometimes people are greedy. They agree to do the job even if they don't know how to do it. So it costs you money and time. You have to pay, usually you have to pay the second time for the same job, and you lose time. But these are just wrong attitudes and you cannot overcome it. But if you control the progress in work, it will help you, first of all, catch the small issues, sometimes things which has not been agreed at the beginning. So you have to discuss them again. But also, if the mistake was done already, or you're not happy with the quality of work, it could be fixed immediately. And sometimes you don't lose materials, for example. or you and definitely you don't lose time. If you don't control, if you don't check on time, then if you come after 2 weeks, sometimes things cannot be changed, you know. In my recent project, I was in such a situation that I was very happy with my project manager, but at the end, there were when I was ready to when he already finished, I realized that there are still plenty of things I wanted him to change, which cost me and him as well another 2 weeks of work. So, you know, I couldn't rent the flat. Especially people who are paid per hour or people who are on PAYE, they have a tendency to extend the time they need for work to be done. So these people usually, if they know someone checking on them, they just work properly and there is no problems with them. Sixth thing, the last thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if you have issues with this, I did, is underestimating myself. For some of us, it's difficult to believe that we could achieve a success or we could build something valuable like organization, the company, the passive income, or whatever it is. Our surrounding, our families, our teachers sometimes, especially in our childhood when we are the most vulnerable and when we learn the most, sometimes they are not very supportive for us. So we have to be taught from the early childhood that the problems are possible to solve, that the life is actually the process of overcoming the obstacles, that if you dream, that your dreams are coming true, if you think about something, if you want something, really, if you desire something, it would come to your life. It wouldn't come itself, but you know, you will find a way how to achieve it. Things like this. So you just from one side you prepare your brain for problems that would appear. From the other side, you just believe that it's possible to solve any problems or any problem or any issue that will appear. Issues or problems even appear in a normal life. So I think it's obvious for everyone that if you try to build something that it's slightly outside your comfort zone and slightly outside your level of expertise, of course it would be difficult. Of course you will be making mistakes and you will have to fix them somehow. So it's just normal. I can't even imagine, you know, that there are people for whom even small problem is a huge issue. I know people who cannot sleep at night because they have I don't know, flat tire, you know. It's just something that has to be fixed. If you cannot do it by yourself, just call someone who will do it for you and book an appointment for the next day with the tire I don't know how to say it, place, and they will fix everything for you. So it's not an issue. The problems makes us stronger and teach us how to solve them. I think it was Tony Robbins in his book Unshakable. I listened it on my way from work. He said that the main issue on your way to achieve a success is usually yourself. So become your best friend and your greatest supporter. And if you have any problems with your mindset, go online. Probably you will find plenty of books which help you start believing in yourself and build a proper mindset. And of course, another important thing is just stay with people who are not only positive and who not only believe in you, but also who have a similar view at building wealth especially from properties. If you have another group of friends who are investors, if you have a group of friends who are investors, then it would be easier for you to overcome any obstacles in your business. So I think business plan is the most important thing in building the property portfolio and passive income from properties, but proper mindset is the second most important thing. So I wish you all the best in your way of development, your proper mindset and your business in properties. It's a wonderful Sunday outside. It was raining when I woke up, and now it's a nice, very nice sunny day again. So I hope you would enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you want to see more of my movies, you will find them on my YouTube channel, Fair House Investments. All my previous movies are there. I think it's more than 22. I think that this is the 23rd now today. So I wish you a wonderful Sunday. It was Małgorzata Kurzępa from Fair House Investments. Bye bye.